As usual, I don't prepare very much. I read something about the Allegory of the Cave by Plato, which is chapter 7 of the Republic by Plato from his teacher Socrates. I love this chapter very much because it tells us what is the truth nature of things. The true nature of things is behind appearances. There's truth behind every appearance. For example, in the allegory of the cave, there is prisoners which they are in the prison. They're in the cave. There's a fire behind them, and the shadow of things appeared on the wall of the cave. The prisoners just see the shadow and they think this is a reality of things. They just see appearance of the things. One of the prisoners get released and he get out of the cave somehow. I think this is the point when someone in our society realizes the truth, and for example, he knows the truth, he finds the truth, whether in religion, in politics, psychology, political philosophy. In my hobby, which is political philosophy, I really love this chapter because it is tell us the truth of things. And I think this show the ones in society which they really love knowledge, the real knowledge, which is not against the religion. I mean, I'm as a Muslim, I don't accept a knowledge which is against my religion, because religion is above everything. It's a light from God, and the ultimate truth is religion, which is sent by the God's prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And I accept the knowledge that we should not against this. In society, in our society, when someone find a truth and this person is trying to when you find a truth, whether in this worldly knowledge or in a religion, you have to try, not just you have to try to make, to benefit people, those people who want the truth also. I'm not with the, I mean, it's not appropriate to teach someone who doesn't want to learn. Only those who ask information should be given the information according to my, I have this principle in my mind. I think those who try to get information, you have to tell them the truth. And one of the persons came out from the cave. There is no, this Plato, the student of Socrates, didn't talk about who released this person from the cave. But I see it is, I see that the one who finds true knowledge finds the way to freedom, to true freedom, which is to enlightenment, to a light, to find a light in the darkness of ignorance, to the light of knowledge and the true knowledge. And this person came out from the cave, and this person came out from the cave. At the beginning of the cave, he saw a fire. This fire hurting his eyes because it's his first time. He's seeing light. Then he got the cave, he saw the sun, and the sun is hurting his eyes very much because of the light of the sun and the brightness of the sun. And then his eyes adjust, and now he saw the reality of things, and he saw this life as beautiful, as truth in he saw the truth of life, the truth behind the appearances. He saw the beauty behind the appearances, and he find the truth is the truth. I were in the dark, now this is the truth. So he go back to the cave. He tried to explain this to his friends, but his friends tried to hurt him because he's telling the truth, and those who are ignorant, they don't want to know the truth, and it's very hard for them to accept the truth and to know what's behind the appearances. So I actually, in my posts in Facebook, I talked about a lot about deception beside of this allegory of the cave, which I really fall in love with this. And this is really came, I think life, all of men and women in this life, in this world, need to know this, because this is something that represents all of us, and we have to know it. I talked about a lot about deception. Deception is not nice and it's not fun, but sometimes you have to. I want to make something very clear that I'm not a deceiver, and not a deceiver can't deceive me. This is the speech of Umar bin al-Khattab. He talked about that no one can deceive me, and I'm not a deceiver. In Islam, it's allowed to be careful and vigilant to those who try to manipulate you and manipulate them back, to prevent yourself from this harm they try to do. For example, this deception is used especially in war. For example, if an enemy attacks you, you have to deceive this enemy. How do you deceive this enemy? This enemy try to kill you. If you don't do something, he's going to kill you. Those enemies are going to kill your soldiers, your army, and you have to do something. What you are going to do, for example, you manipulate them that you go to this direction, in fact you go to that direction, which is make them that I don't know a lot about war, but this is Prophet Muhammad used this in to manipulate the disbelievers, that he want to hide his true intention to going somewhere. For example, he wanted to go, for example, that direction, to left direction. He pretends he go to that direction a little until they disappear. Then he change the direction to the left, or he want to go to right direction. He first go to the left direction, then he go back to the right direction until the enemies disappear. And I don't know a lot about strategies of war, but this is deception is always used in manipulating enemy in war. And in politics, in the life of politics, and I think I compare the Niccolo Machiavelli's work to the work of the Allegory of the Cave, I can see that both writers have some truth, but not always profound truth, but not always telling the truth will help. For example, in so many cases, maybe telling the truth to manipulate you, to hide something from you. But Allegory of the Cave is telling the real truth behind the appearances. This is appearance, this is a lie, this is a deception, this is not sickness, this is not poverty, this is not war, this is peace, this is richness, this is health. And you gotta find out by knowledge, by looking inside yourself. Be intuitive, yes. I'm not very good at this word, but I'm sorry for my pronunciation of this word. Yes, and the work of Niccolo Machiavelli, The Prince, by Niccolo Machiavelli, and the Allegory of the Cave, which is chapter 7 of The Republic by Plato from his teacher Socrates, they contradict each other, and it's very complex to explain, and it's very hard, but as I see it, deception is only necessary when someone tries to deceive you, when you know this person is telling the lie, when you realize that this person not genuine, he's not a genuine with himself, with the reality, with truth, and vice versa, someone which is very genuine with the truth, with himself, and have a great personality, but the other person doesn't have a great personality, and this cheap personality try to manipulate this great personality. At that time, you have to be careful, vigilant to not get manipulated and use your deception to deceive back this person and to not get harmed by the other, this liar, this deceiver, which is and also something very interesting came to my mind. Niccolo Machiavelli is talking about in his book that the ruler should not be get hated but get feared. And this is another subject actually, but I want to talk about it a little bit, just highlight some points about it. I mean, in life, you have to try to people love you, not to. I think in my mentality, fear and getting people fear you is just for those who are not good person. They are not great person. You have to fear them to respect you and to not cross these limits that you have, these borders that you have for yourself. You made it for yourself. Everyone have red flags, and this person crossed the border. You have to not let them do that. And Niccolo Machiavelli talking in his book, saying that the ruler should be feared, but not hated. And I think this is true for, as I said, to fear the superficial persons, those who are not real, those who are not genuine, those who are not great person. But I think I have to tell the truth. I have to be, I have to win the love of those who are great person, and I have to love those who are great. In my view, everybody have some greatness, but not, complete. And but as a person, as a human, everyone is great. But according to our religion, the true persons are those who are true with God, who worship God alone and don't believe in polytheism. They are monotheistic, yes, and they believe in one God and worshiping God alone and follow Prophet Muhammad by understanding the speech of Prophet Muhammad, by understanding the act and his followers, and who's come from after the followers. Yes, and think yeah, I really don't wanna anybody hate me, or I want everybody. This is not something realistic. We have to be true. Not everybody love you, which is something true. And there's always someone who hates you, but because for your true being, and because they are not a great person. They don't like being great. But in reality, if I talk about my life, if I talk about my personality, I want to always show my greatest personality, and I am true with myself that this is my personality. This is not something else. This is not an appearance. This is not superficial, as we talked about in the allegory of the cave. This is not you. If you want to find the truth, you have to go inside, to look at inside yourself, and find the truth by knowledge, by true knowledge. Yes, and yeah, I think that's all I wanted to talk about. And maybe there's some points that I missed and I didn't remember. But yes, I think maybe I think I missed something, but maybe in other videos I'll talk about more about political philosophy. This is my hobby, political philosophy, following political philosophy, and not, I mean, the political philosophy is not against my religion, the knowledge of political philosophy is not against my religion, I'll accept that, and I will accept any knowledge which is not against my religion. I love philosophy in general, but I speak particularly, I love political philosophy, and it helped me a lot in my real life, how to have a policy, or a right policy, not just a policy. And yes, thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed this video, and see you another time.